show you this though. I forgot where that local. It was like a local first thing. Maybe it's down here. Maybe I just didn't go far enough. Oh, here it is. Right. Here, zero sync. Finally. Okay. Yes, we found it. We found it. Okay. All right. So we could go over this real quick. Developing web applications. Insanely complex, blah, 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 top pilot tech, blah, 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 client-side code, server-side code, APIs to tie them together, data fetching, state management, hydration, WebSockets, oh man, and a whole lot more. And once you're done, the resulting app still isn't very good. I will say this, but yeah, anyway, I don't know. I have some ideas about how you can just stick attributes on stuff, and like it's like Tailwind for HTML, but stuff comes from the DOM instead of WebAssembly. I don't know. We'll see. Impressive that I found it. All right, it's time for a rethink. We're building a general purpose sync engine for the web. You put 0 in front of your existing database, and we distribute your backend all the way to the main thread of the UI. I don't know if I want my backend distributed. But yeah, so basically there's like this little diagram, right? Some SQL, right? The 0 client is connected over a WebSocket to the 0 cache, and then the SQL keeps going. The SQL got lost here, but then it's found over here, right? So that's like a feature, I think. And then replication, right? And then it comes back to the cache, right? And then it goes back over the WebSocket, and the SQL comes back again. I don't actually know like how this solves the thing. Oh wait, you get a client-side API that looks like an embedded DB, but to which you can issue arbitrary hybrid queries that span the entire database, including the server. Yep. But anyway, I think this is cool, but I don't. Let's look at some code. Okay, so we synchronize most frequently used 100 megs of data to a client-side persistent cache. This cache is used automatically to the maximum extent for queries. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Shoot, that's actually pretty cool. All right, let me see this. ID string usually resolves instantly, updates reactively. It is interesting, but I thought like databases are super hard, right? Like these are like the hardest problems ever, right? They're feature gating your Arc connection pool and selling it as a service, and you're laughing. It usually resolves instantly, updates reactively. I mean, because like that's it. It's one way to solve the problem, right? Like my idea is like a client router, right? Like a client router like solves some of the complexity. Did I add this? Did I add this though? Let me see. Did I add this? I did, right? Anyway, so the client router kind of solves the problem, right? Because now like I have WASM and I can return stuff arbitrarily. I can return HTML arbitrarily, but like from the server's perspective, it doesn't look any different than like HTMX, right? So I'm just like doing a post, but like transparently, this my HTMX like thing, my hypermedia thing, is like going through the WASM to get the new HTML first, and then going to the server, and like then coming back and saying okay or no, right? I mean, it's like, but then you sort of have to like do a lot of stuff. But this might be a little better. Just wire it directly to your UI. No APIs, no state management, no real-time goop. Use query 0.playlisttrack.join. .clone doesn't get more distributed than that. Okay, so this is like your, okay, I see. So this is like your query, this is like your database, right? So you join the track, select track, album, okay, and like, I don't really understand the syntax. I think these are columns, and oh yeah, that is, okay. So you can like arbitrarily query random stuff. Like this would be an n+1, but since your data's local, it doesn't matter, right? Is that what they're saying? And then playlist ID, order by, right? Limit. Okay. So you can like get a bunch of stuff in like what would be an n+1, but it doesn't matter because it's SQLite basically on the client. Let's see, on starred Boolean, 0 track update, starred. Okay. Track row, track on star. Okay, and it's in a loop too. Where is track row? Oh, that doesn't exist. Okay. This architecture provides instant 0 millisecond responses for almost all user interactions. The user taps a button and the UI instantly updates in the next frame. Yeah. I mean, that's like my client router too, but it's not related to data at all. I mean, it is because the data can come from the server. Automatic reactive queries. A user changes something and all of the users see the change live. Yeah, definitely don't have that. I definitely have not solved that at all. Dramatically faster development velocity. Almost all features can be built completely client-side with no need for new server-side APIs to be built and deployed. Let me, oh shoot, man, it's 149. I'm going to actually do a little coding. I think everyone's done talking, so I'm just going to start coding. Stability. Zero can work with any amount of backend data. It doesn't require syncing all data to the client up front or knowing which data you'll need ahead of time. If the app needs data which hasn't already been synced, it is synced on demand. All data to the client or knowing which data you'll need ahead of time. If the app needs data which hasn't already been synced, it is synced on demand. You can use Zero to build all kinds of web apps from blogs to to collaborative spreadsheets, but where Zero really shines is local first style applications like linear and superhuman. Everyone wants to make linear. Everyone just wants to make linear. Well, I should try to make it and see how hard it really is, right? I bet you I can come up with like really cool patterns to like solve these things, but I haven't even tried. These apps can be built in a fraction of the time it would take to build even an old-fashioned server rendered web app. It will be, of course, like this zero sync stuff. You have to use React, right? It's like if you're not using React, you're out of luck, right? It's like, well, too bad, losers. We're using React now. Zero is a combination of everything we've done with sync over the past 5 years, right? So this is like replicache people, which replicache is really cool. I will say that replicache is like really, really cool. And I watched this video. I thought it was really cool. I mean, yeah, maybe I just give up, right? And I just use React, right? It's Firebase, but fast. It's Firebase, but also with like WebSockets, I think, right? That's a reduction, but on purpose. Yeah, I think so. I think it's like Firebase, but yeah. Yeah, it's like abstracting the queries. I didn't really think about that, I guess. But now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of makes sense. Like this idea of like, IndexedDB or like the file storage API, right? You can get like so you can treat like a cache, and like maybe you keep a few things in cache, and then if they don't exist, you go to the server. DB is your backend thing. It's more like DB is your back. Yeah, I know Firebase is trying to like be the whole backend though, right? This I think is more like, I think you might actually talk to this on Zero. Let's see, your web app. I don't know what they mean by this. I don't know if they mean like the back end and the front end, or just like I don't really understand, right? Client side Redis. Yeah, kind of like client side Redis. Yeah. So I think this is from the server to the Zero client. I think it's like an API, right? But it says you get a client side API. So it seems like you're right. It seems like you don't even talk to your server anymore to get data. Which I'm not totally sure about, really. I mean, I know it makes sense to like abstract the database like planet scale, but I don't know. I like having a database. You know what I mean? Client side working 5+ years. Because I put zero in front of your server. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean zero cache, and then it is Postgres. Okay. So it is like your app talks to Zero. Oh, it is like Firebase. Look at that. Yeah, maybe it makes sense. Honestly, maybe the front end people are right. To tell you the truth, like maybe us back end people are just like, we're just dumb, old fuddy duddies. You know what I mean? Like maybe we're just on the wrong side of history. I'm sure it's great for certain types of applications. Yeah. I mean, I think it's good. I think they're saying it's good for all types, right? I know. Yeah. Honestly, like I'm always on the edge of like I'm like always on the verge of like, is the web right? Like, is this actually good? Like, I don't know if this is what I want to spend my time on, you know? I'd almost rather make games, tell you the truth. I don't even play games, but I'd almost rather make them. Like, I don't know. No, it's not. I'm over the whole web thing at this point. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, it's possible the web like had its time and it was like 20 years ago. That's definitely possible. Let me just build some systems or dev tools.